It's a tough passage, and I'll admit there weren't too many left when I chose this one. But I think the core question is this: what happens when you die? The Thessalonians wanted to know what happened to those who had fallen asleep, as they put it, which really meant those who were dead. They expected Jesus to come back pretty soon, but now some of their friends had fallen asleep and they were worried what would happen to them. So Paul is addressing a specific question they had. He wants to make it clear that dying before Christ comes makes no difference. The dead and alive will meet Christ together. That's the big point. It's not a definitive guide to the end times. He doesn't deal with judgment, the resurrection of the body, or the new heaven and the new earth. Some things about life after death we simply don't know. But there are some key things in the passage. The trumpet of the Lord will sound, the Jubilee trumpet, announcing liberty, the setting free of people. And then we're going to meet Christ in the air. And he uses this funny kind of technical term, which is when a dignitary is coming to visit a town, the people run out to meet the dignitary, and then they escort the dignitary back into town. We get this impression that we're going to meet him in the air and then somehow escape the earth. It's not. We go out to meet him to bring Jesus in. Resurrection is not about snatching people from heaven to earth, but about colonizing earth with the life of heaven. Jesus is coming back. In Acts 1, we read about the disciples looking up into heaven and wondering where Jesus has gone. And the angel said, he will return. Christianity is not an escape route out of here. It's God's means of redemption and renewal. In Revelation 21, 1-5, we read about the new heaven and the new earth. The new Jerusalem coming down from heaven to earth. And John says, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people and he will dwell with them. The direction of travel is really clear. God coming down to earth. Some people say, what about that passage in Matthew? 2 people in the field, one will be taken and the other left. It's funny, just before in that passage there's an analogy to Noah. And the people taken away during the flood were those who were being judged. The people left behind were those being saved. The Left Behind series has got it totally wrong. Those who are left behind are being saved. Those who are taken away are those being judged. And so we pray, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your kingdom come here. The gospel is not about getting us out of hell and into heaven, but about getting God out of heaven and down into humanity in the shape of Jesus. The first time he came, his incarnation, and when he returns again. This matters because what we believe about the future affects how we live now. If you think it's going to rain this afternoon, you take a raincoat or an umbrella with you. If you think the earth's going to be destroyed, you're not going to care about the environment and do anything about it. So we must be prepared to give an answer for the hope that we have. That Jesus Christ, the Son of God, died and rose again. That he wants to transform our lives in the present and to resurrect our bodies in the future to live with him in a redeemed creation, in a new heaven, in a new earth. Jesus Christ is coming back here again, and that changes everything. I don't get it all, but I see the direction of travel, and it gives me hope.